So I was watching a program the other day, and it brought up an issue that I didn't realise, which I'll get to eventually. But first I want to ask you, do you think we need passports to travel around this place? Now most people will probably say, yeah, okay, I need a passport because this area is bordered off and is a country, and you want to go to a different country, it's not yours. Okay, well that's fine. So the thing I learnt on this programme was that the Queen of England, Queen of the UK, whatever the title is, doesn't have a passport. She doesn't need one. I think it's partly because the British passport is the crown, isn't it? So it's the Queen that gives British citizens the passport, so she can't give it to herself. I think that's probably the logic behind it. But when we look at in reality, so she's allowed to travel around without a passport. Now I assume she never goes on passenger planes. I don't know how she would ever do that if she wanted to go on, Virgin Atlantic or British Airways. But I assume she doesn't do that because she has her own plane, or they charter one especially for her. I don't know how that all works. And I'm not sure how does she go to different countries then? Because like us, if you have a British passport, you can go to Europe, you can go to Africa, you can go to certain places, for a few months or whatever. Some places you need to apply for visas. So I learned that she has I guess it's her, one of her team will send a protocol out and request a special visa. So I suppose she does sort of have the same restrictions as us, but just the symbolic idea of her not needing a passport. Even presidents and prime ministers have diplomatic passports. So she's maybe the only one individual. Maybe other monarchs also don't have them, I don't know. And I don't know if other individuals don't need them, but just imagine that. She doesn't need a passport, or the monarch of the UK of the time doesn't need a passport to travel around this place. So why do we all need one? Why is she more special than us? Just remembering that we're all born equal, yeah? The Bible teaches you that. The Bible that she reads, that she preaches, teaches you that. Yeah? The Bible in the majority of people's homes teaches you that. The Quran teaches you that. I'm sure other religions teach you the same thing. The United Nations Human Rights teaches you that. Even George Orwell teaches you that. Sort of. Well, he probably taught it more true because he told the truth where all men are... Was it all men are born equal, some are more equal than others? It might have actually been animals, because it was an animal farm. But yeah, that's actually probably the truest statement of all of these things, because that's the truth, isn't it? Some are more equal than us. Yeah, it just struck me as like, wow. So we all have to have passports, but she doesn't. Although she does still have to request things, but I'm sure no one's ever going to deny her. So it's just a formality. It's not like, us, where we have to fill out how much money we have, and we have to fill out all these questions and explain why we want to do this, that and the other. They get just that they have true freedom of this planet, as it were. And we're all okay with that? But most people would say yes. She's the Queen. What, you expect her to have a passport? The other thing is because people will argue for the fact that, well, no, she's giving you the right. Wait a minute, she's giving you the right? Because obviously in Britain, in the UK, although it's not mentioned so much now, and I'm sure the wording's changed, but traditionally we are the Queen's subjects. It might say citizens now, but that's just a cover-up. We are, in law terms, her subjects. So she owns us. Everyone happy with that? Most people will say yes as well. Most people go around waving flags for the pomp and ceremony of this idea of slavery. we watch so many films that teaches us about this concept, but in reality we're standing by and waving flags. Well, some of us, the majority of us, would keep the monarchy there, would say all its benefit, this, that and the other. But that's another story. But the fact is that she doesn't need a passport, you all do, to travel a world that, if you believe in religion, if you believe in the Bible and the Quran, which is, well, how much? If there's 7 billion of us, technically what is it? Is it 4 billion Christians and Muslims? Maybe even more than that. It's at least over 50% of so-called, because a lot of people are not really these things, but the planet was given to you by God for free. You have free will in this place. It was given to us all equally. So why are we giving up what was given to us all? And if you don't believe in religion, then who has claim to this place more than someone else? By what right do they have claim? Just because they made up thousands of years ago this idea that I'm going to claim this, and I'm going to be more powerful than you, I'm going to put a cloak on and put a crown on my head, and I'm more powerful than you. Do we not remember how when we were children we used to play those games? So why are we playing them in adulthood? But people will argue this. People won't see this unless your mind is open or is able to look past certain things. They're going to defend all these things. How stupid as a species we must look when we would defend this kind of stupidity, that as a child we should realise that we're play acting, but in adulthood. Take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.